Hello nerds, I hope you guys are all doing well. So we got another SCUM Dev update and behind the scenes video to watch and another little sneak peek video that the devs have released. So we're going to get right into it, guys. We're going to start off by watching the behind the scenes video. A lot of really cool stuff in this week's behind the scenes video. And then we're going to jump into looking at the new kind of leaked sneak peek video that the devs have released. And then we'll get into talking about the dev updates. So make sure you hang around for the whole video so you don't miss any of the information. But let's get straight to it, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, our senior game designer, Martin. Hello, Martin. How are you? And what are you working on right now?
Yeah, I'm very good, and I'm currently working on quests.
Can you show us something?
Yeah, sure thing.
All right.
So we will have three ways of acquiring quests. The first one is through an interactive notice board. So you can see 6 quests here, and you can open them up and have a read, and then either escape them or accept them. The second way is through a quest book. Each trader will have one of those.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Of course, everything is still a work in progress. But you can see how that will work. And the third way, which will be very fun, is through a mobile phone.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, and you can open these messages up and also read them, decide if you want them, and then accept.
This is actually really cool, man.
Yep.
This is really cool.
So that is very cool.
And what types of rewards and quests will we have?
So we will have different types of rewards. You will get money, you will get fame, you will get different kinds of items, and of course the quests themselves also won't be just one type. You will be able to loot stuff, kill stuff, everything you can usually do, but this time for a reward.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and the quests will also get harder and harder for you, so you will have something to do regardless of your skill or playing time.
That sounds good. And I just have a couple more questions for you. So, working as a game designer on a complex game such as SCUM, what is the biggest challenge you've had to overcome?
So, as you know, SCUM is a multiplayer game, right? So, when you have a multiplayer game, each time you design something, you have to be wary of exploits, because if something like passes through to the live updates, it's pretty much done, and without the wipe, it's hard to reverse it. So yeah, that's definitely a thing to look after.
That is so true. And one last question, and then we're done. How long have you been working at Gamepires?
Yeah, it's been 5 and something years.
5 and something years. So you're here basically almost since the beginning, right?
Yeah, almost since. It's been a fun time.
Oh yeah. Thanks very much, man.
No problem.
All right, so that was behind the scenes video number 8. If you guys are curious, like I always do, I'll make sure to put it in the description below if you're curious, if you'd like to watch it again for yourself. But we're going to jump into the next little sneak peek that the devs have provided, and then we'll get into talking about kind of all the content and what we have to review today. All right, so that was that video, guys. So as you can see, they've kind of released a lot of new content for us to kind of look at and talk about. So we'll talk about the behind the scenes video first. So that's some really exciting stuff, guys. So they reveal the kind of the quest system, and if you're paying close attention, you might have noticed another little detail in the behind the scenes video. So we'll jump back real quick here. So as you can see, as they're walking up to talk to the developer, you can see here on the left hand side one of the other developer screens, and you can see what looks to be the quad bike and some of the modular parts for it, and then potentially some new or some of the other NPC characters in the background. It's really hard to tell. It looks like that's the general goods guy, and that's about all I can tell. I can't really tell too much more from just this image here, but maybe some new NPC traders to look forward to, guys, in the actual trader zone. These could be related to the quest system that they talk about in this video and so forth. I tried to review this map to see if there's anything on it. I'm not sure what these red dots are here. I don't know if that's something to really look at and really analyze. I'm not really sure. It's really hard to tell. They're also calling for help, so somebody might want to check on that guy. But as we get further in the video, guys, they start to talk about the quest system. So as you can see here, and what they said in the video, there's going to be 3 different methods to be able to do quests. Now, I know there's a lot of hate in the community, especially from a lot of people who really are the PvP side of things, where they're really upset about this system. I really don't understand that hatred and that frustration they have, because how I see it is this system is going to cause players to kind of go out and be more active in the world. People aren't just going to want to sit in their base and like socialize with other players and whatnot, especially if you focus more on the PvE side of the game, which is completely fine. So it is a survival game and you can play it however you want to. But I see this quest system as a reason for people to actually get out and go out in the world and whatnot. And so, yeah, it's going to vary between servers, and every server is going to be different. But this system, it gives people a reason to go do stuff other than going and looting drops, looting bunkers, and kind of the same loot cycle that we're all used to and we've all been used to for a while. This gives another reason for people to go out and actually explore the island, and can lead to more PvP. So for all you PvP guys out there that are really frustrated with the system, you got to look at it as the way that this is going to cause other players to kind of go out in the wild and actually explore the island a little bit more, not just kind of confined to their base and whatnot. Now, it's still going to happen, obviously, but this just gives kind of more incentive and another reason for people to actually go do stuff, and kind of keeps people on the game longer, and like gives them something to enjoy and something to work towards. So yes, as you can see here, they said this is still work in progress, so a lot of this can change, but we're just going to quickly go over some of the stuff. So as you can see, there seems to be kind of different categories. So you've got like life goals, navigating the island, looting, build, professional thief. So probably a lot of lock picking stuff with this one. And then this one seems to be dealing with the gigglers or the beepers or whatever you call them. And so yeah, I think that, and they talk about it, and they talk in the video about saying that it's going to start off kind of low tier quest. And you kind of think of, I think of like Escape from Tarkov, which a lot of us are probably familiar with, is that you kind of first quest kind of easy and straightforward, and then you work your way up and they get harder and harder and harder. And I would really like to see where there's like special quests that once you accept it, it sends out, so like how they're implementing the phone system, it sends out a notification to everybody's phone if you have one, saying this yada yada person has accepted a high risk, high reward quest, starting from this location. And that's the notification get, and then that gives you the ability to go track that player down and try to take that quest. Maybe it's like a limited, like one-off quest that only one person can have at a time, and whoever gets it gets like a lot of money or whatever, high tier loot items, so forth. It just gives people a reason to kind of get out and go move it, other than just going and looting and to bringing the loot back and trying to get in for a reward. So I think that'd be really awesome if that was part of the quest system, to where it gives us kind of the best of both worlds, where the PvP players who really don't want to do the looting part of the quest, but would rather kind of do the PvP portion where they're tracking down players, maybe kind of like a bounty system. I'm sure that'll probably be in here at some point. They do kind of mention like hunting down and killing things as part of the quest. So that could be definitely awesome. So I think this system can really benefit both sides of the world in regards to PvE versus PvP. I think it can really have a good impact for both sides. So I know there's a lot of frustration and a lot of love for this system. I think we'll just have to wait and see what the devs are able to actually make it. But I really think that what they are showing us here is really promising, guys, in regards to being the best of both worlds for kind of both ends of the spectrum. So I won't go on and on about this, but it's really cool stuff. As you've seen, they kind of talk about implementing a couple different ways to accept quests from the quest board, which I'm assuming will kind of be either at the traders or spread across the island. Now, I know it's been kind of pointed out in some of the forums and whatnot I've been reading that the general goods trader in B2, since we don't have a B2 trader, I don't know if that's just kind of like a stand-in or if there's actually going to be like a new, maybe small trader at B2 to where that's the only place you can turn these quests in. So that's going to be a high PvP, high risk area. Obviously it'll depend on the server, but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't focus too much on that because it may or may not be a thing. Who knows? But they did say this is still in work in progress, so a lot of this stuff will probably change. But yeah, it's going to be like essentially easy quest working their way up to more difficult quests, guys. So they're not all going to be like this easy of finding a hiking backpack. Now, depending on what server you play on, that might not be so easy. But yeah, I think this is a really good system. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to give people more reason to actually want to stay and play the game and not just kind of get bored of the same old loot cycle and raid cycle and whatnot that we're all used to and we've all been dealing with and playing for years now. And so, but yeah, and then they talk about a quest book that'll be at the traders. So I'd say this will be at your traders, and then the quest board will kind of be spread across the island, maybe in a few different POI locations. And then they talk about the cell phone here, trying to get to it. So yeah, here's the cell phone. Now this can bring into a lot of different uses with it, so we won't go on into all that. But I really think this could open up the world of new ways for people to kind of explore the island and have things kind of change your interaction with the island and other players and whatnot. So could be some interesting stuff they can do with the whole cell phone mechanic, guys. So I'm not going to speculate on all that because I don't want to make this video super long. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff in here, guys. I recommend you watch it for yourself. The link will be in the description below. And then as I showed you, the second video, the little sneak peek is of the quad. So essentially, I think we're going to get this pretty soon. I'm kind of speculating that we might get an update before the 1.0 update, and part of this, the update we'll get is going to maybe be the quad and maybe some bug fixing. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, guys, but I think I have a feeling that we're probably going to get some kind of small update before we get the big 1.0 update. And I know I'm not the first person to say this, but I have a feeling that that's probably what's going to happen because the quad has been talked about a lot, and it seems like they pretty much got it finished. They've been doing a lot of bug fixing, so I think they're going to release essentially a bug fixing patch before 1.0 to fix a lot of the big issues before they release the 1.0 update. And obviously, there'll probably be a lot of bug fixing with that update too, but that way the 1.0 update mainly focuses on all the new content, where the update just before it is kind of all the bug fixing. I might be wrong, but it's just my gut feeling that that's what's going to happen. But yeah, they give us the whole sneak peek of what the new quad looks like with the modular parts and whatnot. You have like storage, and I've seen images where you have a shield on the front, protect you, whatnot. So, and you can armor it up. So definitely some cool stuff there, guys. So like I said, I'll put the link of this in the description below. But let's get back to the dev update number 99. And so maybe with the 100th dev update, they'll give us some information about when this update or the actual official update will be released. Who knows? But we're on update number 99, so I feel like something's going to happen with the number 100 dev update. So, but that, I might be completely wrong there. But yeah, so they talk about with programmers have been busy working on bug fixing all across the board, which is really good news. We talked about that in last week's video, and they have been continuing work on the upcoming features, and they're on a hiatus from the NPCs and are still being worked on extensively. I think I read that right. Yeah. And then they go on to talk about level design, guys. And so the level designers have been busy kind of changing how the island's going to look for a lot of us. So you can see here, they give us a lot of sneak peek images of what the castle will look like. So I'll put side-by-side images here on the screen now, so that you guys can kind of see both images side by side of currently what's in the game versus what they're showing here. Now, obviously, my in-game settings aren't completely maxed out, so it's not going to look the best it can, but you can kind of see the before and after with these images on screen now, guys. But yeah, some really cool stuff here. It looks like they've been doing a lot of tweaking and modification of the level design, especially with a lot of the POIs. And they talk about it here where they've been working on the castle ruins, tweaking the factory chimneys, which is interesting. The passenger building at the airport POI, and then they give us the sneak peek here of the castle. But yeah, then they go on to talk about the art team and that the animators are still working on the overall bug fixing and the new quad animations, as well as the new trailer and general animation polishing. And so they've been working with the marketing team as well. And then so they've also been working with the hard surfaces, finishing the quad assets, starting work on the Hellrider Rager. So we will be getting the Hellrider Rager back, which is awesome. That's one of the coolest looking vehicles in the game. And I look forward to all the variations we'll get with that. And so definitely cool stuff there, guys. And then they're also working on refreshing the old weapons and some of the soft surface stuff, like we've talked about in the previous videos as well. Sound guys are still kind of doing the same thing. And then that they're working on the new dropship audio and overall audio mixing. And then the QA and CM team, they're testing more, doing more testing and even more testing. So a lot of testing going on. So I'm sure they probably got a lot of things they think are ready, and that they're just testing to make sure that there's no final bugs before they push it, guys. So, but that's all they give us there. And then the design team has been working on bug fixing, and so forth. So yeah, and the new quad. So I definitely think we're going to get the quad bike soon, with a lot of bug fixing, or bug patches. So definitely some exciting stuff, but that's my speculation, is that's going to happen soon. Then they go on to talk about some more Q&A, some about the character creation, wild hunters, and they reference the armed NPCs. So I would imagine that based off this, there might be like patrols going around the island of these guys, maybe with a dropship and maybe like an armored vehicle, and you have armored NPCs in it. Maybe that's like an armored truck. And you have a few armored NPCs that ride around with the dropship over them. I don't know. It's all speculation, guys, but definitely some interesting stuff there. And then they talk about the mobile phone, and somebody put in a recommendation about maneuverable version of the map on the mobile phone. I think that could be interesting because we're all used to just having the map at easy access, where maybe in the future they'll make it to where you don't have your map right away, and the only way you can get your map is either find a paper copy or get a mobile phone and have the like phone app copy of the map. Who knows, guys? But that definitely can be some cool stuff there. Like I said, they can do a lot with the phone feature of the game. And then they go on to talk about maybe creating some private servers, kind of like Conan Exiles, where you can have it run on your own personal machine. They said that it will not come before 1.0, but after 1.0 and early access is complete, then they can maybe consider it. So definitely some exciting stuff there. But yeah, a lot of good stuff in this week, guys. So like I said, I'll put all the links in the description below. But overall, I'm really excited for the upcoming update, guys. Like I said, I think we're going to get a small update before we get the big 1.0 update, because from everything we've been seeing, the big 1.0 update is going to have a ton of content in it. So I think they're going to have to release a small update beforehand to kind of fix a lot of the big problems with the game, and kind of release maybe some of the new content, just a little bit, not a lot, just to kind of keep us on our toes and whatnot. And kind of warm us up for the 1.0 update. But it's all speculation, guys, but I think that's what's going to happen. But yeah, overall, great stuff in this week's dev update and dev behind the scenes video, guys. So keep on the lookout for more stuff coming. Like I said, I think maybe next week's might have some really big information in it, with it being the 100th dev update release. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button so YouTube knows to recommend this video to more Scum players like yourself. And if you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future Scum content that I release on my channel. But other than that, guys, like always, do good, do have fun, and do be kind. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.